Guys, look, if you wanted to be in the video, you could have just told me. So we all love our classic superheroes, right? I mean, what's not to love about people dressed up in bat costumes jumping off buildings? But what makes a great story isn't just the superhero, but their dynamic with the supervillains. And it turns out if you're a superhero, you're going to have a lot of villains. For the many years that superheroes have been around, lots of them have gained plenty of villains in their rogues gallery, such as the Joker, Lex Luthor, and Cheetah, who will be making her live-action debut this month in Wonder Woman 1984. As iconic as heroes are, their villains are equally as popular, with people constantly cosplaying as them, wearing their merch, and with them getting solo movie treatment like the Joker. So it says here something about society. So today, I'm going to be talking about some of the most iconic rogues galleries to come out of DC Comics. Of course, just like my Legacy Characters videos, this will be split into two parts, with the next video being about Marvel's iconic villains. I'll start off with probably the most iconic rogues gallery that belongs to none other than Batman. You know, it's funny, there's a lot of people that consider Batman's rogues gallery to be more interesting than Batman himself. So you know that there's a ton of great villains in here. Sorry buddy, you're just not as popular as the Clown or the Condiment King. I'm almost certain that people that don't know comics all that well still know a good amount of these characters. We obviously have the Joker, who is not just Batman's most iconic villain, but probably the most iconic villain of all time. The Joker revolutionized the Batman lore and is pretty much known by everyone. We have former Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, the Scarecrow, who uses fear toxin to impose, you know, fear, Catwoman, who is a cat burglar and jewel thief, who is now more of an ally and a lover to Batman rather than a villain nowadays, and then there's Poison Ivy, who values plant life more than anything else. Thankfully, I'm just a panda casually living in a bamboo forest. Haha, please don't kill me. There's Harley Quinn, who is more of her own character now and not really a villain anymore, but I still had to counter because of her time with the Joker. Mr. Freeze, who really just wants to save his wife and took up a life of a criminal to do so. Bane, who broke Batman's back. The head of the League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul, who's also the grandfather to this little demon, the Riddler, who just wants to prove he's smarter than Batman, and the Penguin, who is one of Gotham's most ruthless and most powerful crime bosses. There are a lot more characters in Batman's rogues gallery, and if you want to learn more about them without having to do a ton of research in comics, I'd check out Batman the Animated Series or the Arkham series, as they both showcase what's awesome about these villains and how they fight Batman. The next rogues gallery that I want to bring up is Superman's villains. Superman also has a pretty iconic rogues gallery, and I've learned a lot about them when I was growing up watching Superman the Animated Series. We've got Superman's most well-known foe, the billionaire industrialist Lex Luthor. He's not only a genius, but he has stood toe-to-toe with Superman countless times to prove that even though he is only a human, he is better than Superman. There's Doomsday, who is a Kryptonian being who actually managed to kill Superman. Brainiac, who is a genius alien/artificial intelligence. Cyborg Superman, who was formerly named Hank Henshaw, who blamed Superman for not saving his crew in space. General Zod, who is a former Kryptonian military official who is hell-bent on Kryptonian domination. Parasite, who is a former janitor that turned into a creature that's in a constant state of hunger. Bizarro, who's the exact opposite to Superman. Mr. Mixius Pitlick, who is just a troll to Superman basically. And then we have Darkseid, who is one of my favorite villains of all time. He has faced not only Superman, but the entire Justice League plenty of times and is a true force to be reckoned with. Oh, so you want to learn about the anti-life equation? Well, maybe you should have just shown up to class like the rest of us during our anti-life equation unit, and then maybe you would have known and conquered everything by now. Next up, we have Wonder Woman's rogues gallery. First off, we have probably Wonder Woman's most iconic villain, Cheetah. There have been multiple Cheetahs over the years, but the current is Barbara Ann Minerva, who will be making her live-action debut in Wonder Woman 1984. There's the Greek god of war, Ares, who of course battles Wonder Woman constantly. We have Giganta, who is a brilliant scientist who is able to grow to insane heights. Circe, who is another character from Greek mythology, is one of Wonder Woman's greatest and most powerful enemies, due to her being a goddess. And then we have Dr. Psycho, who has psychic powers, meaning he can control people and objects using his mind. He also has a severe hatred of women. Come on, man, be better than this. The last rogues gallery I want to talk about belongs to none other than The Flash. The Flash is a pretty cool rogues gallery, and they even have a group name. Want to guess what it is? The Rogues. First off, we have Eobard Thawne, who is known as the Reverse Flash. He is the Flash's biggest rival and is essentially the cause of all Barry Allen's pain. There's the Weather Wizard, who can, you guessed it, control the weather. Mirror Master, who's able to, you guessed it, use mirrors to his advantage, such as transportation and being able to create lifelike holograms of himself. Then we have Captain Cold, who's able to, you guessed it, use ice to fight the Flash with his ice guns. There's Captain Boomerang, who, You guessed it. You know, guys, we gotta work on these names. Jokes aside, the Flash's villains are actually pretty awesome, and they have proved themselves to be constant threats to the Scarlet Speedster, with some other powerful enemies being Gorilla Grodd, Dr. Alchemy, and Godspeed. And that's just some of the most iconic Rogues Galleries in DC Comics. If you have a favorite Rogues Gallery, let me know down below. I'll have a part 2 to this video out shortly with Marvel's Rogues Galleries, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content, and as always, thank you guys for watching, support your local comic book shops, and have a wonderful day.